wilds of Alaska, vast, untamed, and dangerous. A place of predators, both beast and man.
People expect the beauty and the danger of Alaska, but nobody expects the dark mind of a killer in their midst.
We're dealing with a sociopath, there's no doubt about it.
Definitely somebody that has ice in their veins. He was on the hunt.
If he robs you, you're gonna die. He's your worst nightmare.
I remember coming home one day and just crying out, God, why?
Long winters blanket southern Alaska with what seems like endless ice and snow. It's a harsh place, but it's the kind of harsh some people gravitate to.
They want to be left alone. They want to be away from society. They want to be isolated.
So Alaska builds character. If you have a good character, it builds a good character. If you have a bad character, it brings out the dark side.
A dark side that can remain hidden in the snowy isolation. Alaska's most prolific serial killer was Robert Hansen, a monster who hid in plain sight, hunting humans across the secluded terrain for 12 years.
A state like Alaska attracts individuals who have had problems in their lives because they're able to go there and begin a new life. It also helps a killer. I'm not saying it attracts killers, but it helps killers.
Hansen confessed to 17 murders, but is thought to be responsible for many, many more.
He enjoys the complete helplessness of his victims. They're totally under his control.
Now there's a new serial killer hiding in the deep snow.
It's a great place to hide out. You're out of the mainstream. It's a place to lie low.
Tucked away in Alaska's interior, evil hibernates, waiting until a springtime bloodlust pulls him south to strike across the lower 48. In 1986, in Lodi, California, Robert and Dagmar Linton have no reason to suspect that wickedness has awakened from a long winter's nap.
They were very much in love with each other. They both worked for the city of Lodi. They would have lunch together out behind City Hall.
Married 41 years, they began as high school sweethearts.
My dad was a couple years older than my mom, and so he was a couple of years ahead of her in school. But I think my dad was the heartthrob. I remember Mom mentioning once that a lot of girls were interested in him, but she won. My parents were very lovey-dovey. It was special to be around them because you knew that they loved each other and enjoyed each other.
Newly retired, the pair plans the vacation of a lifetime. A camping trip north through America's beautiful and remote Northwest.
We used to go camping as a family all the time. So camping was a thing that we grew up doing with a tent, and that just seemed a natural thing for them to do on their trip, was to pull their trailer and head out for 3 months.
They were friendly. You go camping, you meet other RVers, and there's a camaraderie between them that they're enjoying life, and they meet new people and enjoy going out. So they were excited to do that.
We'll tell you, Dad. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Good while we're gone, okay? Drive careful.
Bye-bye.
Mom was very methodical. She planned everything, I think, right down to the nth degree. And she'd call every Saturday and say, hey, we're gonna be in this town next week. Send our mail here.
See ya.
Be careful. Love you.
The couple plans to reach Vancouver, Canada in time for the World's Fair, and then head home before winter reclaims its icy grip on the region. Dagmar tempers her excitement with a touch of foreboding.
Just before they left, she ended up having their wills updated in case something would have happened. It seems like she must have had a premonition of I'm not coming home.
Before crossing into Canada, the Lintons stop in Brennan, Washington. And set up a home base for a week of sightseeing day trips.
Where are you headed after here?
I think we're gonna probably head back down home. We have 3 youngsters at home.
We love it out here then.
They had pulled into this campground, met the neighbors, and made arrangements to get together the next day, just be friendly, and went off to do some sightseeing.
Great to meet you. Great to meet you. I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Good night.
Oh, Lord. A nice couple.
Very nice.
Well, what do you think? Should we turn in?
Though Dagmar plans to call every few nights,
Ready?
the calls stop coming.
It was a week or something. I get a call from my brother. Have you heard from Mom? No, I didn't. I missed the last call. And, you know, I'm not really worried about it because they're traveling. You know, maybe they can't find a phone.
And then, you know, one day, mail got returned. And I didn't think too much about it. But when the next week's mail came back, that's when I started getting concerned.
Their parents' new friends in the neighboring RV are worried too.
They had notified the administration at the camp that, geez, these people were going to be back and they haven't gotten back. There might be something wrong. Well, it really wasn't anybody's responsibility, I guess, at that point. Nobody really knew what they should do. They had a policy, you know, you haven't paid your bill for 2 weeks, they'll notify the authorities to come and take care of the issue.
The campground contacts the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office.
The complaint came in to dispatch that there was a trailer in NACO West Campground. It only paid up for a day or so, and they were way past that.
Chief Criminal Deputy Pete Pacini arrives to investigate.
There were still personal items, you know, dishes, silverware, and stuff like that, sitting out. It looked like they were leaving for a little while and coming back.
Only the Lintons and their truck are missing, like they went off for a day trip. That was 2 weeks ago.
You could see no doors, cupboards open. Nobody had been in there scouring through the place. There were no notes or anything left, but the only thing we saw was an itinerary, and it gave their whole trip where they were going to stop. And from what we could see, they were following that itinerary religiously.
The sheriff's office contacts Richard Linton.
And they said, did your folks come home? Or did they fly home? Or did they decide to take a side trip? Or do you know anything about them? I go, no.
I said, wait a minute, these folks, you know, they're either up on the mountain or they fell into the creek or something. We didn't have any idea, but we knew that it sure didn't look good.
Something's not right, and that was the beginning of a day-by-day relationship with Pete Pacini. He would call to see if I'd heard anything new, and I'd call to see if he'd heard.
Washington authorities issue an all-points bulletin for their truck and start to track their credit cards. The trace reveals that the day after the Lintons disappeared, someone used the couple's credit card to buy a movie and gasoline 125 miles from the campsite.
That's all you have to go on. You're working at the disadvantage because he's always ahead of you and you don't know exactly where he's going.
Over the next 3 weeks, Pacini chases a ghost on a peculiar spending spree.
I do remember Richard calling and saying a purchase was made with a credit card buying women's shoes. What size shoe did Mom wear? She had a shoe fetish. But you know, in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, why would she be buying shoes? And if she's buying shoes, why hasn't she called? So we had several of these roller coaster instances where there would be some tidbit that makes you think, well, maybe there's still some hope. But deep down inside, I think we knew that there was something bad had happened.
He snapped up a crock pot, men's underwear, school supplies, and a clarinet.
The stuff this guy was getting was just strange, you know. Whoa, what's up here? You know, this isn't Mom and Paul Kettle setting themselves up, you know, and housekeeping. It didn't make sense.
The thief hits a snag when he returns to an Oregon coin shop to try to buy a rare gold peso.
Well, you know what? I was taking a look at that gold peso right there. I just bought one, just like it.
He bought one, paid $500 for it, and the credit card was just about maxed out, so he couldn't buy the second one.
I'm sorry, sir. Your card has been declined.
Oh.
The shop owner describes the customer as 6'4", with a gap between his teeth, a bandage on his right arm, and a thick Southern accent. The sharp-eyed clerk notices one inconsistency: the customer's signature.
My father was left-handed, and so he would sign my father's name with his right hand, and his explanation was he hurt his arm, and that's why he was signing his name right-handed, and they didn't match.
The mystery man remains a step ahead by using a fake ID, with his photo paired with Lintons' name.
This guy, whoever it is, has got these people, and this guy's in the wind, and I believe he's going east across the country.
Pacini asks the bank to keep the credit card active, hoping to catch up to the man, and hopefully the Lintons. The activity's sporadic, and the reports are always too late. A month after the Lintons vanish, Deputy Pacini finally gets a break when security at the Seattle-Tacoma airport spots the couple's truck abandoned in long-term parking. It looks like it's been scrubbed.
Got looking between the bed and the cab, and I got a flashlight on it, and I could see what looked like rust, but it wasn't rust. So I just got down under the truck and got my knife out, pocket knife out, and did a little bit of scraping, and sheets of blood came down off there. Something pretty violent had happened back there.
Police now suspect the worst. This case might have gone from missing persons to murder.
I remember coming home one day when nobody was home and just crying out, God, why?
Yeah, hop in. Put your seatbelt on.
Well, what do you think?
Robert and Dagmar Linton's Northwest adventure comes to a chilling end when the couple mysteriously vanishes. Chief Criminal Deputy Pete Pacini finds an ominous sign: blood in their abandoned truck. Tests reveal 3 blood types. 2 match the Lintons. The third might be from an abductor.
There's just this whole mystery. Where could they be? Are we ever going to find them? Then after we find the cards being used, okay, now there's a person involved that must have done something to my folks.
Whoever he is, he keeps using the Lintons credit card. And Pacini tracks every purchase.
You could just start getting a feel for where this was going. We were starting to draw up on him.
Then the press picks up the story.
I've got a hold of one of the lead reporters on it and asked them to hold this, if you will. Don't put it out. We are so close. I think we may be able to do something in a day, maybe 2.
But if it bleeds, it leads.
Robert Linton and his wife.
The reporter runs the story anyway.
On a vacation trip with families. The Lintons are missing. All that remains is their travel trailer. This disappearance has everyone worried.
News crews swarm the RV park where the Lintons left their camper and broadcast details of the elderly couple's disappearance.
Everything stopped. That was the end of it. He was probably watching the tube when it flashed on their tube. He knew, it's time to be out of here. We had so many loose ends. I mean, all our ends were loose. There wasn't a conclusion to none of them other than the credit cards being used.
But preparing for the worst.
It's a devastating blow, but Deputy Pacini refuses to give up.
Where did they meet the guy? Where did they die? We couldn't tie a knot on the end of anything.
Now the credit card trail grows ice cold. It's as if whoever grabbed the Lintons has vanished.
Grizzly bears and our black bears and everything, they all go into hibernation too in the winter. So I maybe followed along with that thinking, except that the bears have honor and he did not.
Where does this evil rest?
With the right resources in Alaska, it's easy to disappear. It's easy to isolate yourself. You get heavy snowfalls in the winter that you can kind of hibernate in a cabin with. Then when you do come out, usually you're needing some action.
4 heartbreaking years pass.
It was a big thing, splashed front page news, family missing. Every time I turned around, somebody was asking, you know, what have you heard lately? What's going on? It's a real bewildering experience.
And it's like, what if they show up next month? In the back of my mind, I kept thinking they'll come back.
Deputy Pacini is determined to find the missing couple.
Every teletype that ever come out from any agency, anything about big guys, 6'4", I would check it out, call that agency and talk to them. One day, a teletype comes through from Murray, Utah. They have had this coin dealer who was shot.
The deputy learns that in May 1990, coin shop owner Kelly Finnegan met a friendly Texan who said his name was Jim Stockton.
He basically just kind of befriended himself with Kelly and other people in the store, other customers, in fact.
The charming stranger with the gap in his teeth stopped in several times over a few days.
He would show up at different times of the day. Kelly felt so comfortable with him that he was buzzing him in without a problem.
Only one thing struck Kelly as strange.
Kelly never saw him just park right up in front like everybody else normally did. You know, there was a few parking spaces right in front of the store, and through the big windows he could see who was coming. But he never saw this guy in a vehicle.
On May 4th, the same man came by around closing time,
Good deal. Well, I'm just gonna take this back to the
saying he was waiting for his wife to pick him up.
If you need anything, man, just let me know. All right, sounds good. Hey, where's your restroom at?
Yeah, it's right down the corridor.
Okay. I'll be right back.
The restroom is usually just for employees, but and it's locked up. But Kelly said, yeah, he felt comfortable with him being there and said, go ahead and let him in.
Moments later, a monster emerged with a silenced .22.
The suspect grabbed a curtain that was in the store and pulled it off the wall and laid it over the top of Kelly, I think just to hide him from view because the front of the store just had big windows. But he was walking around the store and stepping over Kelly, going to the safe, picking items out of the safe, putting them in a box. He was just kind of grunting and moaning and almost like animalistic noises.
You stupid bastard, I fooled you.
He made off with $70,000 in gold and jewelry. Amazingly, his victim survived. After playing dead, a wounded Kelly Finnegan hit the alarm. EMTs rushed him to a hospital.
Turned out that they didn't actually penetrate his skull at all, that it just went under the skin. It was just a miracle that he actually survived that shooting.
Investigators gathered fingerprints and fragments from a .22 caliber bullet lodged in the ceiling, but no shell casing.
Our original belief, because we couldn't find that casing, was that he must have picked it up and taken it with him. This guy definitely had a sophistication to him. He was smarter than the average guy.
Police determined Jim Stockton is a fake name.
So somebody to actually act that way and then turn around and shoot you is definitely somebody that has ice in their veins. He was on the hunt. This was a planned out crime that, he had a reason for it.
And now he's vanished.
We were still concerned about where is this suspect at? Where did he go? Nobody else saw the suspect leave the store, and no car description for a getaway vehicle or anything. We just didn't have enough information on how to find this guy.
Deputy Pete Pacini recalls a gap-toothed man with a southern accent used the Lintons credit card at a coin shop.
It was a 50 peso gold coin. Not at all like you normally see with people who steal credit cards. This was entirely different.
After so long, has Pacini picked up the trail again?
And this one brought a gut feeling all of a sudden of saying, this is my guy. This is my guy. I know it's my guy. Like sometimes you get a premonition on something, the hair goes up in the back of your neck, and you say, this is it. This was the most solid lead I'd ever had in the 4 years.
By now, Pacini's sure the Lintons have been killed.
I think he's done away with these people somehow or another. Why and where? What's going to go next? How is this guy operating?
The next lead about the mysterious shooter comes 2 months later. And 600 miles away in the wide open spaces of Billings, Montana.
He doesn't stay in one area. He trip-traps all over the country. He's all over the place.
And this time, there are no survivors. Chief Criminal Deputy Pete Pacini believes an elusive gunman murdered Robert and Dagmar Linton in Washington State just to rob them.
You don't think it's happening to you. This can't happen to me. This only happens in the movies. Only this is real life. It's not the movies.
Pacini thinks the man who attacked the Lintons also shot a coin shop dealer in Murray, Utah. He learns about a similar case in Billings, Montana. A gap-toothed man befriended a coin dealer, visiting his shop several times. The man said his name was Charles Horton. He's a farmer from Texas, looking to buy a lot of gold.
Gentlemen, how we doing? Here to check out some of your fine jewelry and coins?
He's a very cold, calculating individual. And yet on the surface, got that good old boy, that Texas accent. He's disarming.
This is my son. How you doing? How are you? I'm pretty good.
He's a talker, like a used car salesman. They're smooth. They like to make you comfortable with them.
So obviously part of this guy's MO was building a rapport with these people, trying to gain their trust and put them in a situation where he would be, able to catch them off guard.
Something about him didn't sit right with the dealer.
He had a scar across one of his hands, but he didn't have the hands of a farmer. They were the hands of a banker.
That's not all the coin dealer observed.
He was driving a silver Pontiac, a silver Bonneville Pontiac, and he would never park it in front of the shop. He would always park it down the street and then walk into the shop.
On the buyer's third visit, the friendliness was gone.
Come on in. Take a look around. See if there's anything that interests you today.
Well, I think today's your lucky day, because I'd like to buy about 30 grand worth of gold and silver if you got it.
Well, let me get into the safe here.
The coin dealer expected to sell some gold,
Here you go, my friend.
but ended up taking lead. The store's secretary hadn't heard the shot, muffled by the silencer.
Major crime in Billings just wasn't a thing that happened. So when there was something like this, it was a big deal for sure.
This is not a snatch and grab. This is shooting a person and going through his safe, his display cases, whatever he has on him, and taking whatever you want.
And this isn't something you have to drive away. This is something you can carry off in a little bag. So you're talking walking down the street carrying $100,000, $150,000 with no problem. He made a lot of money real fast.
And he made sure there were no survivors.
He knew what he was doing, for better or for worse. He had planned this out, and he knew, that he could do it and get away.
The owner's son tells police about Charles Horton, but they determine it's also a fake name. Montana authorities alert law enforcement across the country.
The robbery was similar to ours, where the owner was shot in the head with a .22, and he kind of befriended these people. I thought, this is our big break.
He used a different name each time, but the gap-toothed grin and the friendly drawl are the same. Just like the man Pacini thinks killed the Lintons. Investigators realize a madman is prowling the country. Since all they have are aliases, they dub him the Coin Shop Killer.
You can read teletypes forever about credit card theft, but the people who were killing coin dealers, well, that was out of the ordinary.
Checking records, investigators find 3 other coin dealers killed by a .22 caliber over the past few years. In March 1988, he took down a coin shop owner in Kansas City, Missouri. In July 1987, he slayed a Spokane, Washington coin shop owner just after closing time. And in November 1986, the body of a Vacaville, California coin shop owner turned up in a creek bed with a single gunshot wound to the head. All 3 unsolved for too long.
You have a family that's been totally disrupted. It becomes very personal, even though they tell you not to let it become personal. But it does, because you wonder if there's something you're not doing or that you are doing that's not allowing you to solve this case.
There's no question, it's always the same guy.
It was very noticeable. The Texas drawl and the gap-toothed grin were the big identifiable pieces.
He kills just to kill. He doesn't kill because he has to. He kills because he wants to. Once he gets it in his blood and gets away with it, and he's got the power of God in his hand. He shoots and kills the person in the face when you're 2 feet away from him. That's a cold person.
He goes by a long list of fake names and only seems to strike in the summer. He murders, then retreats. Murders, then retreats.
It almost was like a hibernation, a period of time where he just would go dormant and then nothing for several months. And then all of a sudden another crime would occur.
I'm curious to know why he chose my parents. Was it because they were helpful, or was it because they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
There's no continuity. There's nothing that pulls everything together. He's a pretty smart criminal in terms of covering his tracks.
Fingerprints left behind are not in any agency's database. Deputy Pete Pacini thinks he's also the one who abducted and likely murdered Robert and Dagmar Linton and tried to use their credit cards to buy coins.
Here, check that out.
Whoa, where'd you get it?
I just found it at a jewelry store on my business trip. Thought you might like it.
Wow, really? For me?
It's genuine, and it's all yours. That's a real fine time.
We're definitely dealing with a sociopath, there's no doubt about it.
Thanks, Dad.
He was getting some sort of thrill out of killing the people he was killing.
Authorities struggle to hunt him down before he strikes again.
But we don't know how he existed or where he existed. The key for him was movement. He'd commit a crime and then leave. It just disappeared.
Like a truly abominable snowman, he seems impossible to track. Only this killer is absolutely real. And when spring comes, he'll resume his hunt. Authorities track a serial killer who changes names like the seasons. They believe he killed Robert and Dagmar Linton in Washington and coin shop dealers in 6 other states.
I can't even fathom how someone would be able to do that, just shoot somebody in the head unprovoked. So even though you deal with this stuff all the time as a police officer, you never can wrap your mind around someone having the intense hate.
After each slaying, he vanishes for the winter.
When a bear first wakes up from hibernation, his instincts are to eat. He's ravenous hungry. He's going to go out to kill. But bears don't attack for malicious intents. Human predators are what you have to watch out for.
Now, for sure, there was an urgency to try to locate this guy, even more so because we didn't want it to happen to another victim somewhere else.
Then a tipster calls Montana police, saying he saw a suspicious man drive away after the murders in Billings. He wrote down the license plate.
And that really leads them to okay, we've got the license plate, we've got a good description, and things start, rolling.
Running the plate, they learn the silver Pontiac is registered to a man named Larry Ulrich, and they get an address in Wyoming.
We had a real good lead at that point that now we knew exactly where we were looking and who we were looking for.
So they went to that particular address, but they didn't find anything.
Turns out it's a fake address. Larry Ulrich is still one step ahead of the authorities.
Then they started to look for the car individually.
The next day, police spot an abandoned car at the airport in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Although Ulrich tried to disguise it, it's his.
The front of the car is covered with bugs. The license plate, though, is clean. It doesn't have any bugs on it. It's the same car, different license plate.
Inside, authorities find Ulrich's registration, coin wrappings from the Montana shop, and a .22 caliber handgun with a silencer. The clip's missing 3 rounds, likely the 3 shots that killed the Montana coin dealer and his secretary. In Washington, Chief Criminal Deputy Pete Pacini runs the new name through his state's databases. He finds an old driver's license with an address in Deming, Washington, just 60 miles from where the Lintons credit card was used. Pacini also learns Ulrich once had 2 children registered in Deming schools.
That was one of the aha moments. I was able to get a hold of the principal of the high school and talk to him, and he remembered the family. He believed that they had left and had gone to Alaska.
The principal recalls the family put things in storage before heading north, and he mentions a seemingly insignificant detail.
He remembered the daughter played in the band, and he said, in fact, it was the only B-flat clarinet in the band.
Pacini's suspect used the Lintons credit card to buy a similar clarinet. The deputy gets a search warrant for the storage units and unlocks a killer's secrets.
We walked in and we looked at it, it was mountainous. The place was jam-packed full of everything. There was this B-flat Bundy clarinet with the serial numbers scraped off it. But there it was. And then there was a bag, and in the bag is brand new underwear. These are the only things I just heard about. I'm holding them now. Whoa. I mean, that was just like someone coming, just won the lottery.
Airline personnel in Jackson Hole confirm Larry Ulrich flew from Wyoming to Anchorage 2 days after the Montana murders.
A lot of people think that they can go to Alaska and disappear, and because it's such an unknown, and go out into the wilderness and somebody might not find you for a long time.
Again, you're off the grid, you're out of the mainstream. It's a place to lie low. Perhaps he's planning what he's going to do next. Perhaps he's just making sure that the trail grows cold from what previous act he committed.
Alaska state troopers track Ulrich to a cabin in remote Kenny Lake, where he lives with his family. The village is 90 miles outside Valdez, Alaska, tucked between the mighty Copper River and the majestic Wrangell Mountains. Its snow-packed pines offer the perfect place to hide.
It's a small community, and you could escape there for sure. I think the area is pretty spread out, so you could live off the grid somewhat, but you still have that connection to the road system, so you can go to various places.
Kenny Lake is so remote that there's even a lot of Alaskans that don't know where it is. It's not a place somebody can stumble upon or come to accidentally. There's a lot of outlying areas that people can disappear, they can hide.
Now that they know where the alleged serial killer is, authorities need to take him down. SWAT teams from several agencies converge on the Alaskan hinterlands.
He was a gun nut. I mean, he was going to go down big time with this thing, and he had nothing to lose to shoot it out.
A multi-state task force deploys to capture a serial predator holed up in the remote Alaskan hamlet of Kenny Lake. On August 13, 1990, a SWAT team swarms Larry Ulrich's property, preparing for an all-out assault. As dawn breaks, authorities determine the best way to take him down is to lure him out and away from his gun stash.
Hello? This is he.
They call him at the house and say that they had
Yes, sir.
papers on an unrelated matter to serve on him. And could he come down to a store that was located a short distance from the house called Kenny Lake Mercantile?
Yeah, I can be there in 10 minutes. All right, thank you.
Who was that, Dad?
I gotta run down to sign some paperwork.
He's coming out, headed to the car. Move.
We immediately got into our vehicles and got ready to jump behind him, follow him, make the traffic stop.
Ulrich pulls off the road and right into their trap.
engine out of the truck, now! Now! Don't do anything stupid! Turn off the truck! Out! Now!
As soon as he turned into the turnout, there was probably 8 or 9 members, jumped out and swarmed the vehicle.
Out of the truck! Hands up! Hands up!
Alaska state troopers arrest him for the murders of the Montana coin shop owner and his secretary, as well as the attempted murder of Kelly Finnegan.
He was pretty stoic. He knew his rights. He smiled and he gave the old Texas drawl and the good old boy routine.
What's going on?
After the arrest, police descend on his cabin.
Will you just wait for him to come back?
They're met by his panicked wife.
Why are you guys here?
Settle down.
They recover several guns and a travel bag from his most recent trip south. Among its contents, a gold-engraved pocket watch stolen from Kelly Finnegan's shop. His wife swears she knows nothing of his crime spree.
When put to some of the tighter questions, she backed off. And she backed off by saying, I don't know, he would never tell me what he did. That he would go his own way and he would travel a lot, but I don't know what he did.
But the story takes a bizarre turn. Authorities realize the man they have in custody is not Larry Ulrich when they find a report of a man with that name who has a police record in New Mexico.
And so we got a hold of a lieutenant in Hobbs, New Mexico, and talked to him. Very familiar with this guy.
The lieutenant shows the real Larry Ulrich a photo of the man in custody in Alaska. He recognizes his old buddy, whose name is Charles Sinclair.
They were friends at one time and knew each other, and I was a classmate. He just stole his identity.
Police learned Sinclair once owned a store in New Mexico, stocked with coins, antiques, and guns. In 1985, the shop mysteriously burned to the ground. They believe Sinclair torched the place, collected the insurance, and skipped town.
The family all changed their names when they left Hobbs, New Mexico in the dead of night.
Family just went along with it, never questioned him about it, and whatever he said went, as far as they were concerned.
Sinclair settled his newly minted Ulrich family in remote Deming, Washington, not far from Robert and Dagmar Lintons' campsite. Chief Criminal Deputy Pete Pacini finally gets the long-awaited news of an arrest.
Total relief for me. Just total relief. This is it. This is so good. He's not out killing people anymore.
Pacini races to Alaska to get handwriting and DNA samples from his prime suspect. It gives him the chance to get face-to-face with a sociopath.
We got you.
And to this day, and I've always said it and I'll still say it, if you've ever seen a rattlesnake on a hot rock, eye level with you, that was Charlie Sinclair to me. You read about these people. Say, well, God, what kind of people are they? And then all of a sudden you're face to face with one. It's just kind of flabbergasting. I can't believe this person looks like me. He's got arms and legs and eyes. There's nothing different than any other person. He doesn't have horns. He doesn't have scales. It depicts the type of a monster these type of people are.
Despite Pacini's best efforts, Sinclair never admits to killing the Lintons.
Nothing to say?
But tests show Sinclair's blood type matches the sample found in the Lintons' truck. Though Robert and Dagmar's bodies are never found, police are confident Sinclair killed the couple, as well as 9 others at various coin shops. Yet money doesn't seem to be the motive.
But was he doing it to remove witnesses? Was his main impetus taking all this money, or was it the killing?
Sinclair has almost no cash in his bank account and a stockpile of coins worth over $700,000.
He wrote bad checks when he was living in Deming. So he wasn't turning this stuff into cash.
He might have had a very difficult time trying to unload these rare coins that he stole from these coin shops across the country. If you were going to sell them to a collector, I think a collector would know right away that something's amiss and that may give you away. So I'm sure he didn't want to have this stuff in his cabin or wherever he would be living at the time. So have it off the premises. Have it in a storage shed. That's probably what he felt would keep him safe and keep him from being linked to some of these crimes.
It wasn't like they were in a rich castle up in Alaska. You know, they were in a remote cabin that had a stove in the middle of it. It was the killings, I think, that he thrived on.
Before Charles Sinclair can go to trial, he overdoses on medications and dies in jail.
He's like all the rest of them type of people. When it comes down to it, they're gutless on their own right. It's easy to have a gun and point it at somebody, but now he had the gun pointed at him, he couldn't handle that. So he took the gutless way out.
No one will ever know what went through Charles Sinclair's mind, or what made his murderous heart so cold.
The only person who truly knows all of the death and destruction he did took that information to the grave.
It's justice enough for the Lintons' surviving children.
And he brought himself to his own justice. I mean, he met his maker. He met the Philo judge. Real quick, you know, man's justice, man's judge will have a 2x4, and God will come in with the 4x4.
I believe that they're in heaven watching over us, and they're waiting. They're waiting for when it's our turn. And we'll see them again.